Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, Teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. Here we are, Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parashas Chayei Sarah. Had another great week of learning. We're going to conclude on a high note. I'm still kind of riding high, having the visit from Rav Melamed here in our shul, in our community, and his sharing of Torah and bracha and brachas of Eretz Yisrael with us is just so incredibly meaningful. And also to have him bless the work that we do here is also extremely meaningful. But please continue davening for Charlei Tzva Ganei Yisrael, for Shalom and Chol Tzvei Yisrael, and in return of our hostages, L'Kvuras Yisrael. We learn each and every day, Le'ilei Nishmat Sarah and Daniel Shimon ben Harav Deron v'Shel Yoshem Ekim Damo. Next chapter, Tefillah Balachash. Kama v'kama halachas gedolos lamanu min haderech sheba hispal l'chana. She'amdo biksha mahashem she'ifkadena beven. We learn many, many halachos from the way that Chana, as the haftorah that we read on Rosh Hashanah, in the story in Shmuel, the way she stood up and she asked Hashem to remember that she should have a son. And of course, she was remembered and her prayers were answered, and of course she gave birth to Shmuel Hanavi. Shahaya Gedol Nevi'ei Yisrael Acharei Moshe Rabbeinu Alav Shalom. And he was considered the greatest prophet in level after Moshe Rabbeinu. V'kach nomer al tefillah, so the pasuk says in Shmuel Aleph, v'chan hi medaberes al liba, rak sifaseh na'os v'kala lo yishameya. She was speaking on her heart, her lips were moving, but you couldn't hear her voice. So Amar Chachamim medaberes al liba. What does that mean? She was speaking on her heart. M'kan lamispalo shetzarch shichaven libo. That one who's davening has to have proper kavanah in his heart. Rak sifaseh na'os, m'kan lamispalo sheyachtoch bisfasav. We learn that from the lips, as the pasuk says, that a person has to mouth the words with one lips. And we learn from the last part that her voice could not be heard, that one's voice should not be raised during davening. This is all in the Gemara and Brachos and Daf Lamed Aleph Amad Aleph. In Yanashal Tfilas Amida, Levatei Lefnei Hashem Esa She'iflas Ha'amuka Shel HaNeshama. When we say the Shemoneh Esreh, we have an expression in front of God, the depths of the feelings that we have within our soul. So therefore, it's not meant to be out loud. It's an inner prayer, and it's not meant to be directed outwards. On the other hand, but one might think, well, maybe I don't have to say the words. I only have to just think them inside and not even mouth the words. But then we're told that you're not yotzei tefillah this way either. Because if we want a good will to come out in this world, there has to be some sort of physical expression, some tangible expression. In order for it to come into the world, it has to be put out there, so there's some sort of tangible action, and this will help us repair what has to be done in the world. So therefore, the mitzvah of Shemoneh Esreh, which is beautiful, it's pleasant, and it's inner, it's quite inward, but nevertheless, it has to have some sort of minimal expression, so that's why we mouth it with our lips. So we have a different customs with the following question. So how does one daven what we call the silent Shemoneh Esreh? Ladas rov poskei halacha umiktas hamikubalim tzarcha mispal hashmias kolol osno. According to most poskim, and many, and not many, but a few mikubalim, if you want to take the Kabbalists into account, so then the one who's davening has to be able to raise his voice enough that he can hear it. But in the sense that only he can hear his own voice. However, people next to him or nearby would not be able to hear him. And according to the Kabbalists, it's so inner and deep, the tefillah, that even you can't hear your own voice. You should only mouth the words with your lips. So everybody should follow the custom of one's father, of one's family, and you should, perhaps, if you don't have a custom, do at least which allows you to have the greatest kavanah. By the way, a note about saying it so that only you can hear it. There are some people that are not very good at whispering, and their whisper is louder than the way some other people talk. So you have to just take that into account. It's not just whispering, but it's saying it in a tone that only you can hear it and no one else can. B'di'evad, gam Im hishmias kol b'tfilaso. B'diavad, if a person also made his voice loud during tefillah, yotzei d'chava, you're still going to be yotzei. L'chei mishum iskasha l'chavim b'lanchash. So therefore, someone who cannot have kavana during the silent Shemoneh Esreh, im hu nimtza b'chidus, if he's by himself, rishoy lispal b'kol, he can daven it out loud. Aval b'tzibur, however, if in public, b'chol mikra lo yispal b'kol, in any event, no one should ever say it out loud. Kedei sheli yafri l'shar mispalim, because there's a derech eretz element that you don't want to disturb other people who are davening. If you're by yourself, that's one thing. But when other people are around, you shouldn't disturb them. And it's better that one should daven with a minyan quietly and say the words, even though he's going to have lesser kavana, because as we have said previously, there is a greater element of davening with a minyan, because even if you have lesser kavana, but still, the minyan will allow your tefillah to be accepted. And the other portions of tefillah, like the brachas of Kriya Shema or Pesukei Dezerma, she'einem pneimiyim v'amukim tefillas hamidim, which are not as personal and inner and sacred in that sense, like Shemoneh Esreh, l'chol hadei tzorech mispal al shmias kolos. No, everybody agrees that you have to be able to hear what you are saying. V'sa pasuk harishon shel Kriya Shema, af nogen lomer b'kol ram. And when it comes to the first pasuk of Shema, as you'll see, many people do, we say it out loud, kedei la'ores hakavana, and this helps stir our kavana. It helps us get greater kavana by saying it out loud. V'chein onin amen u'baruch hu v'shemo b'kol, and when we have to answer amen or baruch hu v'shemo or anything that requires a response, we say that out loud. Uv'miyuchad ala kaddish yesh l'shtadel lanos b'kol ram, particularly when it comes to answering kaddish, we have to answer out loud. Especially people will know if they're davening for the but sometimes you have that feeling like, is this thing on and can anybody hear me? Because nobody's paying attention and nobody's answering. It's very important to answer amen out loud, particularly during Kaddish and Kedusha and all those other places. So we thank you for answering the bell and learning with us, but wishing everybody a peaceful and restful Shabbos. Please continue davening for Chayei Yisrael, for Yisrael, return of our hostages, and for us Yisrael. Nishmat, Daniel, Shemoneh Esreh, Shabbat Shalom Baruch, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll see you here next week with Hashem. Have a great day.